Hey, did you ever review Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle? No, I didn't actually do that. Why didn't you ever do that? I just never ended up reviewing it. I always wanted to talk about it and I mentioned it in videos, but I never just did a review. Don't you think it's kind of time to review that? Yeah, you're probably right. Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, take it away, Eric. Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle on the Nintendo Switch is an amazing game. Now, I wanted to review this a while ago. I mean, I've had this for 3 years and I've talked about it numerous times on the channel, but I've never sat down and actually reviewed this game. So what I want to do today is talk about why I love playing this game and why you should pick this game up. The price of this game is absolutely dirt cheap, and Ubisoft took Mario characters, took Rabbids, and combined them together as an XCOM type game, and it just amazingly came together well. I did not expect this game to be as good as it was, but I am super duper stoked that Ubisoft was able to cram all this stuff together into one game and just have so much fun with it. First off, we have to talk about how Mario was a Nintendo IP that had never been touched by anybody but Nintendo itself, and how Rabbids is this super duper annoying kind of franchise series of games that kind of are based on kids stuff, and they're just really overall annoying. Those Rabbids games are never ever fun to play, and if you do play them, you tend to get bored and kind of annoyed by their jokes and their stupidity after just a few minutes of gameplay. So how was it that Ubisoft was able to take Nintendo's Mario character, take Rabbids, and combine them into a game like this that is so awesome? Now, I will say the Rabbids are still annoying in this game, but I think they're at just the right level. If they were any higher, it would be a total, like, shut down the game and not play it anymore. But I think they were able to balance how Mario characters are and Rabbids characters and combine them together, like I said, to make the comedy perfect. They hit really ridiculously. At some point, there's a Rabbid that kind of looks like Peach, is kind of like the Peach version, and she like taking selfies, and there's a Yoshi one that's kind of dumb, and there's even a huge Donkey Kong Rabbid that looks absolutely amazing. But overall, when you think of Rabbids, you don't think of it to be as fun as this game was, and honestly, this game was pretty funny as well. Not only did I love the storyline of this game, I loved how they were able to take the Rabbids and get it, just walk it ever slightly towards that line of being over the top and annoying, while still being able to hold down the fort, so to say, and keep the Mario characters to balance out that ridiculousness. So, do I think they did a good job with the comedy aspect of this game? Yes, I do. I think they hit it out of the park. Now it's time we talk about the graphics. Now, this game looks absolutely amazing. I did not expect to be thrown into the Mushroom Kingdom like this with the cartoony graphics and have them be so awesome. Now, going through the levels and the worlds of this game, you get to kind of explore a little bit, and that is when you really get to look around and see all the awesome stuff that is actually in this game. This game is very well done, and you would almost think that Nintendo did this themselves whenever you look at it, but Ubisoft did a very great job at the aspect of the castle, of just everything in the Mushroom Kingdom just came to life here, and I just had so much fun just looking around. Now, anytime I would stumble upon a tube that took me somewhere and made me find a new place, or maybe I found a little hidden area that wasn't right off, or that was right off kind of the beaten path, it was really awesome to see the graphics and how they managed to kind of change things around. I really loved the whole aspect of the graphics for this. Now, I think that this kind of artwork style, kind of cartoony feel is something I always love to see in games, and when I see them in games like this, I just love it so much. So I was kind of shocked that the graphics were so good, but I think they did a well a good enough job for this, and it really turned out well. So if you are a fan of graphics that are good looking, that are cartoony like this, I think this is a great game to sit down, play on your Nintendo Switch, and just have a ton of fun with. Next is gameplay, and realistically we talked about kind of how the Mario and the Rabbids kind of come together to deliver some really good comedy. We talked about how the graphics look really good, but if a game has bad gameplay, it's not really worth having, it's not worth playing, and it just gets skipped over. That is not the case here. This game is so amazing. Now, if you like strategy games or kind of puzzle games and you like games like XCOM, this is an amazing game for you. Now, what has happened is there's a grid that's laid out on the map, and you can see where your characters can go. Each turn you have a certain amount of blocks or steps you can take, and then you can either shoot at the opponent if you can reach them, or you just have to kind of move on. And so I love the gameplay of this because it takes it, every time you play it, you can go a different route. Maybe you lost this level, you can replay it and go on the other side of the map and win on the very next try. So I love the replayability of this game because it can be straightforward. You can go side to side, you can go really anywhere you can, as long as it'll allow your character to move there. And then you've got some really awesome shots out of your different kind of blasters or guns, if you want to call them that, and then it kind of goes wherever you want to from there. Sometimes during your move you might be 3 steps from something, and if there is a tube that takes you to another spot within 2, you can actually go through that tube. It'll take you up to the next spot, or take you back or forward or wherever on the map. And that is actually really good for strategy, because maybe if you have your enemies in front of you, you can take a tube to get to the side of them and shoot them from the side instead of having to kind of shoot through the barricade that they're hiding behind. So I love the gameplay aspect of this, and it just makes the game feel so much better. Speaking of feel, now when you get into a game and it just has really bad controls, you just don't want to play that game over and over again, or you may not even make it past the first level or the first world. However, that's not the case here as well. The controls are so amazing. They help you out, kind of figure out what you need to do. It's not too complex to where you're like, well, what button do I press here? What do I press here? It's very straightforward, and the more you play this game, the more you figure out exactly what you want to do, and it just makes the game faster and faster whenever you are at that moment where you know exactly what the X button does, or whatever button you're trying to do or move you're trying to do. You can get used to the cool controls. They're very relaxed, but you can pick them up and learn them really quickly and play the game and the maps and the levels a lot quicker based on that. Now, I do like the way you can move around. You can look around the map to maybe see where you kind of want to get to. That way you're not out in the open. Maybe you find a block that's close enough to you that you can hide behind and then shoot someone else whenever it's your turn. It just is very nice how you're able to kind of control the game how you want it to be. That way you can end up winning and not end up having to redo the level over and over again. You can kind of go all over the place, which is nice as well. So as long as you stay within the grid, the controls help you move around a lot, and that's one reason I think I put so many hours into this game. I've replayed this game at least 2 or 3 times, and every time I find something new that I missed beforehand, and I just feel like the controls of this game really feels like Nintendo made this themselves. If you have your Nintendo Switch and you're looking for new games to play, I highly suggest you get Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. This game is really cheap, and I feel like everyone kind of glosses over this game. Some people have played it, some people talk about it, but no one really goes in depth about how amazing this game is. I had so much fun playing this, and I understand why this game is so much of a great deal. For Nintendo to work with Ubisoft, that just is crazy right there. But for this game to turn out the way it was, it just makes it even better. So if you like this game, comment down below and let me know. But that's all I got. Peace.